Bye.
Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. So I know I took a long time to record this video, but I am so sorry. But let me go ahead and start off explaining what I'm doing. So right now I'm just using my Covergirl eyebrow pencil to fill in my brows. I know there's some unwritten rule about not using black for your eyebrows, but hey, it works for me. So I use my black Covergirl pencil to just outline my eyebrows. As you can see here, I'm just starting at the bottom and following the natural arch of my eyebrows, and then heading to the top and following that same arch. On the top line, I don't go all the way to the front of my eyebrows as I do at the bottom, only to give me some space to create that ombre look, you know, not that boxy look, but that nice ombre look. So I'm just gently filling in my eyebrows with, you know, really gentle strokes to mimic natural hairs and to give that natural appearance. Now I'm going in with my concealer. So I use the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Expresso and an angle brush. Now an angle brush is very important to me because it follows the natural arch of your eyebrows without you having to try too hard to, you know, follow the arch. So I highly recommend an angle brush. If you don't have an angle brush, you know, use whatever works, but I just feel like when it comes to makeup, certain things just make the process smoother, and I highly recommend an angle brush. When it comes to the top half of my eyebrows, I try to be very careful and not overdrawing too much, because if you overdraw too much, that creates a bigger eyebrow than what you naturally have. Now, if that's your look, you know, definitely that's your look. But with me, I like a natural looking brow, so I actually kind of come down a little lower than what I originally drew as my eyebrow, just to make sure I don't create a bulky eyebrow, if that makes sense. So now I'm just taking a dense fluffy brush. I believe this is just an eyeshadow brush, but I'm taking that brush and I'm buffing out my concealer into my skin so that I don't have that halo effect. I don't like the halo effect. Some people do, but me personally, I don't. So I basically just buff out that concealer into my skin until I feel as though, you know, it's not highly visible and it's well blended. Now, to prep my face, I use my Wet n Wild Photo Focus mattifying primer to give me that matte look when I apply my makeup. Now, it's getting pretty cold where I am in South Carolina, so with my skin, it's not dry. I have combination skin, so I have dry and I have oily skin in some places, but right now my skin is pretty manageable, so that's why I'm using a mattifying primer. And basically a mattifying primer does exactly what the title says. It creates a matte foundation for you to be able to apply your makeup on, so that you don't have that oily look after you've had your makeup on for the day. Now I'm taking that same angle brush that I used to conceal my eyebrows with, and I'm putting my concealer, the same concealer I used to outline my eyebrows, on my eyelids, just to make sure that my face is, basically uniform in color. So I'm creating a base for my eyelids so that, my eyelids aren't a different color than the rest of my face, if that makes sense. Once I blend everything in, as you can see, all the dark marks and whatever, and I quote, imperfections are there, it will be erased with the concealer. So I'm just patting that in with the same fluffy brush that I use to blend out my concealer around my eyebrows. And I'm just, basically, what's the word I'm thinking of? I'm buffing that out with the brush into my eyelids. Next, I'm going in with my Laura Mercier powder, and this is a translucent powder. What translucent powders do is they allow the moisture into your face to be sucked up. So basically, the concealer that is on my eyelids, it will basically be dried out by the translucent powder to prevent creasing. So I'm just blotting that on top of my eyelids to create that flat base. To prep my eyelashes, for my eyelashes, I use my mascara, and that's the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. The reason why I do this is because mascara creates this bed for your glue from the eyelashes that you're applying to sit on. So it not only allows it to be an easier process, but it actually makes your eyelashes stickier so that the glue would adhere in an easier way, other than if you didn't have anything on your eyelashes, if that makes sense. So I'm just, fluffing out my natural eyelashes just to create that foundation for the glue and for the artificial lashes. So these are my lashes. I know, not everyone likes long eyelashes, but I love them. Well, sometimes I use 15 millimeters, but this time I'm using, I believe these are 20 millimeters. And I purchased this pack from Amazon. So what I'll do is I'll put the link in my description box, so that if you would like to order a pair of these lashes, then definitely I got you, sis. So even though my eyes are kind of large and almond shaped, sometimes lashes come too long. So what you saw me do is I cut the lashes a little to allow the lashes to fit properly onto my eyelashes. Now for my foundation, I use Fenty Beauty foundation in the color 450, and I love this foundation. So I use a beauty blender to apply my foundation. So my beauty blender, well, for one, excuse it, but it's already damp with some water, and I just squeeze some onto my beauty blender and I just beat it into my face. Yes, I'm literally beating my face, and I just apply it until I feel the foundation is on my face in a uniform way, no spots left untouched, that sort of thing. Alright, so now to start highlighting, I'm using the same concealer that I use on my eyebrows, eyelids, to use as my highlighter under my eyes, nose, forehead, lip, and chin. And basically what highlighting does is it mimics the natural light on how it naturally hits your face. So foundation, it can make your face, like how I said, uniform. So what you want to do is bring that light back into your face with a concealer that is lighter than your skin tone. So that's what highlighting is. And it's really easy to do. Some people call it a T-zone because, your forehead, down the bridge of your nose. But to me, it's not really a T-zone to me, but you get the gist of it. But as long as you apply the concealer in the areas that naturally, that natural light naturally hits your face, then you're good, sis. You're gonna look great. So I know this is an everyday makeup tutorial, but who says we can't add a little cooking in here? And so what I mean is this process right here is called baking. And what baking does is basically you're using your translucent powder that you use on your eyelids to set the concealer that you put in your areas to highlight. What this does is it prevents creasing, and it also allows your foundation to stick not the foundation, the concealer to stick in the areas that you applied it. Alright, so now it's time to contour. So for contouring, I use a darker shade, not too dark, darker than my skin tone. And I use my eyeshadow out my Morphe 350 palette, and it works great for me. You basically want to use a color that's darker than your skin tone but not too dark. So I'm going in with my same dense brush, and I'm squeezing my, I'm making a fish face to allow my cheekbones to, to be prominent and to show, so that I know exactly where to draw my contour line. And I'm also contouring my forehead and down the bridge of my nose as well. And what contour does is it brings the face in. If you have I would say like a plushier face, or I hate to use this word, but a fatter face like myself, this really helps to make your face seem smaller. So I actually have a contour brush that is from Real Techniques, and I purchased this brush from Walmart, and I'm just going to stroke upwards with the contour brush to allow the contour's line of demarcation to disappear. And the reason why you brush up is because if you brush down, it creates the illusion of a 5 o'clock shadow, and I just know my ladies don't want that. So next I'm going in with my L'Oreal Infallible setting spray to allow my translucent powder to soak in. And next I'm going to go with my Maybelline Fit Me in the color 360, I believe. And I'm going in with this face powder because this goes over my translucent powder so that everything can basically come together, as you can see. So yes, I still use blush. A lot of people don't use blush, but I feel like I can't live without it. So I'm just using this Profusion blush palette that I picked up from Marshall's. It was about $10 and it does a wonderful job. So I've been sticking with it forever now. I also go in with my MAC blush as well. I can't remember the name of this palette, but if I can find it online, I will definitely link it below. And I also use the highlighter that is within that same palette to highlight my cheeks and my nose and my lip as well. Also, what I like to do is I like to go in with a black pencil and tight line the bottom half of my eyes to create an illusion of smaller, slimmer eyes. It's just a look that I love going for. I also apply mascara to the same bottom half of my eyes, of my eyelashes, to allow them to flare out a little bit more to give a more dramatic yet still natural effect. Next, I'm going in with my favorite pair of lip glosses. It's the LAA Color matte lip glosses. I did show me using the first, which is that brown color, but the second half of that video where I used the second, the pink, got cut off, but it's okay. It gives this color. So I know y'all didn't think I was going to leave my eyebrows looking like that, but I always save the best for last. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking that same angled that same angled brush, and I'm just brushing up the pencil, the pencil to the front half of my eyebrows to create the ombre effect. And after that last step, I go in with my Urban Decay De-Slick setting spray to set everything together. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube video. Make sure you comment, rate, and subscribe. What are you doing? Did you subscribe yet? I'll wait here.